All right, everybody, welcome to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 37. I'm really excited that you're back with us today because we have a very, very awesome show, and we also have a very special guest as well. He might have just disappeared. I'm not sure. Hopefully he's there. There you go. There he's back. Anyway, I want to introduce everybody, of course, to the panel and, of course, our special guest. Today we're going to be talking about online Comic-Con, or kind of our wish list of what we would like to see from some of the online events that are coming up. And then we also have a very special interview with our guest this week, Mr. Zach Oat from Diamond Select. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
That's right. Well, we're really glad to have you here. Also with us this week, as always, Mr. Dan Dufault from Wayne Manor North.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here. Hi, guys. Hi, Zach. Welcome to the crew.
Welcome. We also have Mr. Rick Fong joining us once again this week.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thank you for having me. Zach, welcome. And let's see if we can get into some more trouble tonight.
That's right. We also have from the Secret Sanctuary on YouTube, Mr. Jeff Delaney is with us.
Nice to be back, everybody. Hope you're doing well.
And, of course, the one and only, the original Jeff, Mr. Jeff Morris is with us. And I have to show off, Dan and I have to show off our new Brotherhood of the Bat shirts. Can you guys see it? There it is. Right
Very
there.
nice.
There it is.
So are you guys wearing vials of blood underneath the shirts? Like you guys are twinsies now?
That's right.
Twinsies.
Brothers from different mothers, I think. That's the way it goes.
Clearly, OG Jeff didn't get the black shirt memo. Zach did, I see, so that's good.
Yeah, that's funny because the five of us are wearing black. That's hilarious.
Hey, this is a Batman show. What are you going to wear? Red? Come on.
Exactly. It's going to be like,
hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
And look at that. Jeff's got Batman Who Laughs. That's awesome.
Oh,
Very good.
Here, let me show everybody a little bigger there so everybody can see it. There it
Very
is.
good.
I think you win. That's cool.
That is awesome. Jeff is currently on a mission to obtain the Batman Who Laughs from Prime One Studio. Jeff, how's your mission going so far?
I've sold Wolverine and I still have Robin for sale. So everybody come on and buy this Robin tonight.
The QVC here all of a sudden.
Yeah. I will QVC the hell out of that Robin.
So, Jeff, if you didn't catch that, he is selling his Arkham Knight Robin from Prime One Studio. So if you're interested in that piece, hit Jeff up because he's trying to fund his amazing Batman Who Laughs. And it's just an incredible piece. So I know you're going to be getting that soon, Jeff. So hang tight.
Well, Jeff's got extra PT duty because if we're all wearing black shirts and he's got gray, he didn't coordinate with how to find out we were all going to wear black.
No,
So
I'm out
Clint
of the
Eastwood's going to force you to run now.
Good luck with that, Clint.
So with that Batman Who Laughs, Jeff, do you have a spot for it?
I'll make a spot.
Okay.
I have some room left. I have to clear
Or you're
some
gonna-
stuff around.
You're going to turn into me and just start ordering stuff off the fly, not having a place for it.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I definitely hear you. It's becoming a problem.
That's a problem for later.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could solve, whenever we
I already
invade.
have some ideas of what I want to do. I'd like to find I would like to have a mirror behind it to be able to see the back of it because the back of it is so cool. And I would love to be able to get a shattered mirror.
Oh, that would be really cool.
With some backlighting.
I love that.
Just because it's so Clive Barker, Hellraiser, creepy ass looking.
Yeah.
I may have to steal that idea.
I know.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
love that.
I do not have the patent on that. You go ahead. And
You have to pay Dan for that idea.
Pay one way or the other.
That's right.
Believe it
That's
or not,
right.
I've actually been working on plans for a display, and I was taking Dan's cue with the industrial black piping on the front, and you put 4x4s or 2x4s on the back, which gives you enough room to put just some paneling, and you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get mirror, and then you can.
It's a great idea.
Tape. and then put it on there, and then you can just line that as your back.
That's a great idea. There you go.
Yeah, it's a little something I've been working on because I have display cases, like actual comic book store display cases, but you, Dan, have inspired me to kind of mix things around, and I still want to see the back or the sides. And so I've just been drawing, like, just a little plan, and I kind of expounded from yours and able to put, because you can get real thin at Home Depot and Lowe's, and you can just mount it on the back.
That's awesome. Love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, Zach, this is what we do. We just go on and on for hours about wall space and, how we're going to set up our collectibles. Yeah. And I'm so excited to have you here because Diamond Select is a product and a company that I really, really like because it creates these amazing high quality pieces at a really great price. And one of the biggest things that we as collectors have, and we talk about all the time, is the lack of space. It's always an issue, and we never have enough room to put these things. Of course, some of the stuff that we collect are a little bit bigger. But I'm always amazed by how great the quality is of Diamond Select items, and you get so much bang for your buck, and it definitely has a great presence on the shelf. Whether it's PVC or whether it's resin, just really great things. And so I'm really glad to have you here. We've got some questions for you, and we'll also have questions. So if you're watching in the chat right now, please have some questions ready. We'll hopefully put them up on the screen if we don't already ask them or answer. So please ask your questions as we go. And if you guys in the gallery here will help me kind of watch some of those questions, that would be great. So I guess we'll get started and just welcome you and say, first of all, how did you get involved in the toy industry? How did you get involved with Diamond Select?
I guess it goes back to when I just got out of college. I got a job as a copy editor for Toy Fair magazine. I was kind of getting into toys in college, getting back into toys, action figures. We covered a lot of Diamond Select Toys product, and I took a couple of years off after working there for a while, and I heard about an opening at Diamond Select Toys, and they knew me, which helped, and I got it, and I've been there for about 8-9 years, something like that.
Wow,
that's awesome. And so, what are some of your job duties at Diamond Select?
I handle pretty much all outward-facing communication. So it's a fancy word for me doing social media. I do basically all the copy that you see going out, packaging, text, ads, press releases, all the catalog text, that's pretty much all of it. I do the panels at the shows and stuff like that. And if anybody wants to interview somebody, that's me. That's me.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming you've been to all the Comic Cons and things like that over the years. Of course, this year is very different, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But with the day-to-day items at Diamond Select, so I think a lot of us that are in this group and this panel, we really like kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff about the industry. We really like how things come about. And Diamond Select has a lot of great licenses. How does that all come about? Like, is that something you deal with or have to work with?
I don't do anything as far as the licensing goes. The president, Chuck Tercera, is he's the guy who handles all the licensing. He's a big fan of a lot of different stuff. He's a big Batman fan, among other things, and he goes after the deals for the stuff that he thinks there's a demand for. He thinks that there's a market for, and he looks at stuff that's come out before. Just because somebody's done something doesn't mean that there's not still people who are interested in that product. And then he looks at stuff that nobody's done before, like we just did some stuff for the Black Hole movie by Disney, which nobody's done anything for that really since the movie came out in 1979 or something like that. So. Yeah. So he goes, he looks at both of those things that there's a real demand for product and things where there's a proven sales history.
That's awesome. So what have been some of the most popular licenses that Diamond Select has produced over the years?
Nightmare Before Christmas is a line that does very well for us year after year. This year we're releasing series 9 and 10, 9 around Halloween, 10 around Christmas, as far as action figures go. The statue-wise, the Marvel Gallery line has been doing really well for us since we launched it a few years ago. That about $50 price point PVC statue is something we'd done before that for Femme Fatales, just our own proprietary female characters. We did some licensed stuff with Star Trek, and then we got into Marvel, and it kind of just took off from there. And since then, we've done the DC line, Godzilla, Bruce Lee, John Wick. We've applied that to a lot of different licenses, and it's become very, very popular.
That's awesome. So do they ever come to you? I know it might not necessarily be your department, but do they ever come to you for input, like the designers or the artists? Do you ever work with them in any way?
Sometimes they'll ask me my opinion about things based on fan interest. They'll say, what do you see fans interested in as far as like our Marvel Select line, which is probably one of the more popular action figure lines we do, probably even more so than Nightmare. We've been doing that since 2002. I don't know how many figures we've done so far. It's probably a few hundred. We only do a few, several figures per year. But every now and then they'll be like, hey, what are people looking for in that line? As far as the statues go, not really so much. Sometimes they'll solicit some input from the team for like variants for like cons and stuff like that. Like what could we do for an exclusive for San Diego, for instance. But no, Chuck works. We have a couple different product managers, but Chuck heads up a lot of different lines for us, and he works with a couple different designers to do the 2D, and then a bunch of different sculptors to do the digital sculpting, as well as some practical sculptors as well.
That's really awesome. One thing I wanted to ask you before we even got started today was there's been a lot of rumors and speculation about the big news last week with DC parting ways with Diamond as a distributor. Does that affect you guys in any way? Are you guys still going to be producing the same products that you have been?
Yeah, that will not affect our deals with Warner Brothers. So as far as like our Batman animated series stuff, our DC Comics stuff, we're still going to be going ahead and doing things based on those worlds. So that deal is completely separate licensing deal.
That's awesome. So I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more product coming here soon as well. So that's exciting news for collectors. Yeah, exactly. One of these. So since you have been working with Diamond, do you collect any of these pieces yourself? Are you a collector? And maybe what's your favorite piece that Diamond has produced since you've been there?
I've collected a lot of different lines over the years. Including some DC stuff, but as far as statues go, I didn't really get into statues until I came to Diamond, and we've done a lot of great pieces. I set some of them up behind me because I wanted to show them off. I brought some of my favorites, and yeah, I mean, I get a lot of stuff in to do photography on. When we get product samples, I'll take pictures and just to show the fans what you can do with them and what they look like under different lighting and things like that. But yeah, I'm a Diamond Select toys collector, which is the easiest. When you work for Diamond Select, it's the easiest one to be. So I don't really do high end stuff, or big stuff. I don't have a lot of room. You guys have problem finding place to display your big stuff. I have problems finding places to display my small stuff. I've got a very small man cave / office, which I have like a few shelves on that I can put stuff on, but. Otherwise, I just take out some of the favorites that I have and keep them around until I do some photographs on them, and then I put them away in storage. And I'll get the newest stuff in, and I'll play around with that for a little while. And but yeah, I'm DST all the way.
That's awesome. The Batman, I get to see the Batman up there in the corner. I'm going to be reviewing that for the channel soon, and I can't wait. It's such a great piece. I'll say again that I'm just so impressed with the quality, and one thing I wanted to bring up, and we talked a little bit about this before the show, but this line right here, a lot of people on the channel know that I've been collecting the Diamond Select Batman the Animated Series resin bust line, and Dan, I know you've had a couple of these pieces over the years.
A couple on my desk here. Yep.
Yeah. And the only one that I can't find right now is or at least at a decent price, is the Mask of the Phantasm, the masked version. That one's real difficult to find. But I wanted to see if you could maybe dispel a rumor, because there's been a long-standing rumor in the community about this Mr. Freeze right here. This Mr. Freeze is very difficult to find, and he usually goes for anywhere. I mean, you could sometimes get lucky at retail, but usually he's going anywhere between $300 or $400 or $500 to get him. I don't want to tell you how much I paid for mine. I'm too embarrassed, but this was one of the last pieces that I was trying to get. And the rumor over the years has been that not all of these have been produced, the run of 3,000. And so can you maybe tell us, like, was the entire run actually made on these rare pieces?
I can't say for sure about Mr. Freeze, but if it's hard to find one, and it's a villain, and not necessarily a Batman one, then chances are it was not one that we did the full 3,000 piece run on. Depending on orders, we may say, we'll do half the run now, and then we'll do the other half at a future date. Once we see that there's demand for pieces beyond what we made. So I think we're going to be reoffering some of the ones that we did partial runs on in the next couple of months. So if there's some that you're looking for, they may be popping back up in previews. So definitely keep an eye out. I think in the next 2 months or so, you'll see some of those offered again.
Well, that's very exciting. I just think it's such a fun, awesome line. And this line, especially these characters, they're not done a ton, that you just don't see them in really great quality like this in resin, especially. You see action figures and stuff here and there, but a lot of people are really excited about this line, and it's been out for a while, but it's nice to see new pieces. My newest one that I have is the Mad Hatter. Is there any chance that we might see some new characters coming soon?
I think we're going to see how the reoffered ones do. I think we have a new Batman that we're working on. Not sure about that. We just released a few weeks ago, I think, or maybe a couple months. The Deathstroke, the Terminator from Batman, the Batman. I can't remember which cartoon he's from, but it's from Beware the Batman, from Beware the Batman. So we did a Deathstroke, and we'll see how that goes once we reoffer the villains and we do the new Batman. We just did a new Harley as well.
Yeah, that's right. And that's been really well received too. I just absolutely love that line. So thank you for the info on that. I know a lot of collectors are going to be really happy with that, especially with some that are going to be reissued, especially for collectors that have had a really difficult time finding certain pieces. I know, like, for me, like Man-Bat was really difficult, and Clayface and Scarecrow and Riddler, some of those villains were very difficult. Like I mentioned, the Mask of the Phantasm. So I'm really happy collectors are going to have a chance to not have to spend quite that much, $300 or $400 on some of these things. So that's awesome, because again, the great thing about Diamond is they've always been so affordable. And I know as a collector, price is everything. Space and price, it does really matter. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Another question I had for you is, what is your favorite part of your job? What has been your favorite part?
Gosh, I like going on the forums and talking to people. Letting them know when something is coming out in the next week or two, and just getting their feedback on stuff. I've only recently started hanging out in the statue forum. I've had a membership there for a while, but I finally got to post there a little bit more with some of the stuff we've been doing with the galleries. And there's a couple different sites I go to. I'll go to the Swoosh to talk about action figures. I'll go to Minimate Multiverse to talk about Minimates. Meeting people at the shows is fun too.
That's awesome. Well, again, speaking of the shows, we're not going to be able to have physical shows this year, but I was wondering if you guys are going to be doing anything online. Like, are you going to be revealing any new products for 2020?
I believe we're going to have a digital presence at San Diego Comic-Con. We'll definitely have a panel that I'm putting together now, but we're going to have I believe a digital booth as part of their digital show floor. So you'll be able to check out pictures from us. Hopefully we'll have some new stuff that hasn't been seen before, just to make it exciting. And we'll see how that goes. I'm still waiting to hear exactly what the details are for the booth presentation, but there'll be links to go to the store, the links to email us with questions and things like that. But the panel should be fun. Well, I'll try to show off some new stuff in that as well. I'm looking at what we're going to be offering in the next couple of months and trying to get some premieres. It's not going to air. Obviously, I have to finish it up in the next week or so, and it's not going to air for a month. So I may not have the newest pictures, but there'll be some of the more recent stuff that we're going to be talking about and showing off.
That's cool. One other thing I was curious about, like in the high-end statue community, whenever you first see an item, from the time they premiere it, sometimes there's months before you pre-order it, and then once you've pre-ordered it, it can take a year, sometimes 2 or longer, to get them in hand. With Diamond Select, how does that process work? Like whenever you reveal something to the community, how long does it take before you're able to pre-order it to be able to get it in hand generally?
We try not to. Well, aside from bringing stuff to shows and New York Toy Fair, where you have to show stuff off pretty far in advance. You have to show almost a whole year's worth of stuff at New York Toy Fair, in advance to retailers. There's some stuff that we don't necessarily show off until right before we're ready to offer it in the catalog. There's some stuff we debut in the catalog, or at least a couple days before on a website. So once stuff gets offered in the catalog, it can be anywhere from 5 months to a year before it actually makes it to the shelf, depending on the complexity of the product, whether there are some hiccups in the production that we have to deal with. But usually we don't show off stuff too far in advance, except for maybe at the shows. New York Toy Fair or San Diego will have stuff there that maybe we won't offer for several months. I don't think we've offered our Wolverine, our Legends in 3D, that line of half-scale busts that we do. I don't think we've offered our Wolverine yet, and we showed that. We showed that at the retail summit, I think last May. So it's been a while since we debuted that one. So that's a year right there for a product. But that's probably the extreme that we would have for showing off something between the time we showed it and offered it.
That's really cool. One thing I'm really excited that you guys have shown is the animated series half-scale busts. Those are really amazing. You've shown Joker and Batman so far. Has that line been a popular line? Do you think that line will go further if people are wanting to collect that line?
Yeah, I think the reception has been pretty good. We are going to be soliciting Harley Quinn, I believe, on, I want to say Friday. We're going to be offering Harley Quinn for pre-order. So,
wow!
That we've developed, and if she does well, then maybe we'll design some more. I don't know who our 4th character would be. I can think of a lot of ones I'd really like to see, Mr. Freeze being one of them. But we'll have to see how that goes. Those are the big 3.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think that they will be very popular. I think the scale is awesome, and I think they look awesome. So I think that's all the questions that I wrote down. Do you guys in the gallery have some questions for Zach?
I actually have a question. Sorry, Zach. I actually have a question with the read new ones of the animated ones that you said, the Batman animated. Are you guys going to be doing any tweaks or any slight differences, kind of like what they did a few years ago, or what they've done over the years with the Batman Black and Whites, where they released the first set, and then they came out and they're like, oh, the Magnola's tweaked just a little bit, or this one is tweaked. Are you guys tweaking it, or is it going to be pretty much exactly the same?
I believe it's going to be the same. I didn't know they did that with the black and whites, but it's I think, as far as I know, it's going to be the same piece. Hopefully, same quality, same paint quality, and I don't think we're going to be making any changes.
Okay, cool.
Anybody else have questions?
Are there going to be any? I've seen the Marvel Milestones Thanos statue. It's like a really big Thanos. Will they be doing it?
He's got his hand up. That milestone, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, the movie Thanos.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Here you go, Jeff. Let's see if just angle it up a little bit.
All right, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, good piece.
But he is like huge. That's like one of the largest diamond statues that I'd seen. Are there going to be some more in that size?
I don't know how what we're gonna do with the big ones. We
Okay.
made a few. We did a couple Thanoses. We did a Thor. I don't know if we're gonna keep doing those. We'll have to see how these newest ones sell through, and then we might look at it again. But the big ones are it's a very limited classic collector who can drop $500 on a statue at any given time. So it's certainly a more limited audience, and we do more limited runs on those. I think 1,000, but whether we make the full 1,000 at a given time, I'm not sure.
So were those resin pieces?
Yes, those are the milestones are generally like 1/6 scale, and obviously with Thanos, you're dealing with a much bigger character. So, they're about 1/6 scale. That one is probably, like 16 inches tall, 18. It's a pretty tall piece.
That's awesome.
That's definitely one of the biggest we've done, especially the base too. The base is very wide. The Shattered Avengers logo.
Yeah. The figure is at least as big as the Hot Toys Thanos I have.
Wow.
So it has to be 1/6. But then the base is pretty big. It has that big, chunky base that raises it up another 1.5 inches or so. So it's pretty big.
That's definitely one of the bigger pieces we've done. We have a couple more that we've done pre-orders for. I don't know how they've been doing. But we'll see how those do, and hopefully we do more. But I'm a space guy, in terms of how much space I have. So I don't get those into photograph very often, and I certainly wouldn't have a place to display them. But so I stick with the galleries for the most part, and occasionally a Premier collection, which is galleries are about 1/8 scale. Premier collection is about 1/7 scale. So when you get into the bigger ones, I tend not to get them in, but they certainly look really good when I'm setting them up at the shows.
That's awesome. I know in the past, there's been like online or not online, but Comic-Con like exclusives to some of your items. Are you guys going to be offering that this year since there's an online Comic-Con, or probably not?
Yes, we offered some. We've over the last couple of weeks, we've been revealing daily different gallery pieces, as well as some action figures. And I don't know if we did a couple of resin pieces. We had a Deadpool bust, and we had a couple of we had a Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant is part of our company now, Gentle Giant Limited. So we had a Star Wars piece from them, Mandalorian bust. So we are going to be offering some. We're offering them online through GentleGiantLimited.com. Some of them will also be on DiamondSelectToys.com, shop.DiamondSelectToys.com. So you can order them. Gentle Giant Limited ships international, GentleGiantLimited.com. So if you're so right away, they're hopefully they'll be more accessible to collectors as opposed to just being available at the shows.
That's awesome. So if collectors were really interested in finding your stuff easily, you mentioned your website. Is there also other social media that you would like to promote where fans can find the stuff real easy?
Sure. Yeah. You can you can get news on our stuff from our blog, DiamondSelectToys.com. We're on Facebook, Diamond Select Toys, all one word. Twitter and Instagram, we're on CollectDST. As far as getting the stuff, you can find a comic shop at comicshoplocator.com. So you can go there and pre-order anything that we've shown in the previews catalog, anything that we have on our website that's upcoming. There's also a number of online retailers I'm sure you guys are familiar with. Don't want to name any specific ones just to give them advantage, but Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, a lot of different places where you can get the stuff that we sell.
That's one thing is every single comic book shop I ever go into, there's tons of Diamond Select stuff. It's usually very accessible. And again, the thing that I always appreciate is not only does it have great paint apps, but it's a fun sculpt and it's very affordable for collectors. And I know that not everybody in the community can collect $1,000 statue. So I'm really glad that there's different price points in the community. And I just feel like you guys offer such a great value. And so I just thank you. I tip my hat to Diamond Select. You do a great job.
No, thank you. Thank you.
That's what I was going to say about that Thanos is that's for the price. There, you get a lot for your money on that guy because he's huge. And look, I mean, being that big, the detail and the paintwork was excellent on it.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful piece. I really like the Ragnarok Hulk and Thor that we did as well. And we did a Thor for Infinity War as well, and a Thanos for Infinity War too. So if there's a bunch of those pieces out there, you can get them on our website. You can get them through your comic shop. But I think they're definitely worth checking out. And if you're not into the really big stuff, the Premier Collection is great, and the gallery pieces are, like you say, the paint apps are great, and they're really affordable for $50 each. Some people can't tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Archangel in the chat asks if you could commission your own piece, what would it be?
Sorry, am I breaking up?
No, you're okay. Could you hear my question? Could you hear me okay?
Uh-oh.
We might have lost audio. Let's see.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay. Welcome back. I just had asked, Archangel in the chat asked if you could commission your own piece, what would it be?
Oh, gosh. That's a tough question. I mean, there's a lot of smaller characters that I'd love to see, but I'm a big Iron Man fan. So seeing something like a classic comic Iron Man, not necessarily classic, but like 90s, 80s, 90s Silver Centurion armor. That'd be a nice piece.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you're an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yep. Love Centurion. That's like one of my favorite armors he ever had.
We're going to be doing a gallery that's like for right after like maybe 90s, the big boots, yellow and red armor. But I keep pushing for Silver Centurion products, so fingers crossed we'll have something in the near future.
That's awesome. Jesse Hernandez asks, X-Men animated series mini busts. Those are just starting to come out. Is Juggernaut, is that a possibility and exclusive plans, he says?
It's certainly a possibility. I know that we haven't showed it off yet. I haven't seen a sculpt for it. I don't know if there's a design for it. There might be. We showed off a Sabretooth at New York Toy Fair, and we have Magneto just hit. Actually, Magneto is hitting now, and but mostly it's X-Men team. People want us to complete the X-Men team for sure. So once we get Rogue and Gambit offered, I know people want to see Jubilee, they want to see Storm, they want to see Beast. So I think completing the X-Men team would probably take precedent over doing too many villains, but we certainly want the line to be balanced. So we also showed off we're doing stuff for Spider-Man, the animated series. So that's going to be something we're going to be doing as well. We showed off Spider-Man and Mysterio at New York Toy Fair.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Michael Cecilia asks, hi, Zach. Thanks for coming on. Question for you. I just saw the Diamond Select DC Gallery Classic Harley Quinn go for pre-order. Is it a reissue of the figure that was a GameStop exclusive?
Yes, the GameStop exclusives were all exclusive for a certain period of time, and now we're making those available to comic shops and also to international customers. So the Harley Quinn is going to be the same as the one that we just did, but we're also going to be bringing back a lot of the GameStop pieces. The Dark Knight's Metal Armored Batman. Gosh, I forget all the different DC ones that they had. They had a lot of Marvel ones also, but definitely some of the Dark Knight's metal pieces and that Harley. I forget the other. Poison Ivy was a GameStop exclusive as well. the green skin poison ivy we did.
That's awesome. Got a great question from Martin. He asks, has anyone thought or considered doing statues of the comic book creators like Ditko, Kirby, Stan Lee? Have you guys ever thought about doing some of these, maybe those in bust form? That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know if that's ever come up as something. I know that there was some talk about Stan Lee at one point, but I don't know how serious any of it was. That'd certainly be very cool. I know that was it Bowen that did a Kirby bust back in the day? That was a nice piece that he did.
Yeah, I think so.
Correctly.
Awesome.
He might have done a Stan Lee as well, but yeah, I would love to see him, but I guess we'll see what the future holds.
That's awesome. Archangel asks again, do you have any hobbies that are not superhero related? I'm sure you do.
Gosh, I like to design T-shirts. Sometimes I'll sell them on Etsy, but just fun stuff. I watch a lot of movies. I used to get them all from my local library. I would just check out the newest stuff that came out, just to watch some of the older movies that inspired our stuff, like Bruce Lee, Black Hole, obviously. So now I'm trying to watch stuff that we're doing product on, like Avatar, Clone Wars. So I watch a lot of stuff on Netflix and Amazon Prime, but everybody does that. But I like to draw, but mostly what I draw is superheroes. So I guess that doesn't count, right?
It's all tied together. It all works, right? Well, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to get with you about some T-shirt designs. That's really cool.
Oh, thanks.
That's awesome. Edwin says Bowen did Stanley and Jack Kirby mini bus. So I guess two of them.
Okay,
cool. That's really cool. That's awesome. Dan, did you have a question? I think you were maybe trying to ask earlier. Did you have something in mind?
Yeah, I guess the question was, there's on the DC front, of course, of interest to this group. There's a lot of new, real exciting material coming out on the comics side. There's the death metal that came out today. There's the 3 Jokers coming up next month, I think, is the new release. Are you guys able to respond quickly to those things, or how quickly can the catalog move to respond to the market demand around those kinds of pieces of creative?
Once you factor in development time, the turnaround for a piece is probably close to a year. Doing a 2D, getting it approved, doing the sculpt, getting it approved, getting a quote from the factory, getting the paint, getting that approved. Once you get it into the catalog and allow for a month of orders from the retailers, it's probably at least a year for a gallery piece, or a statue. So the ability to turn one around based on current is tough. The metal stuff we did was, I don't know how long we waited for to see how the series did. We might have just seen the really cool designs and started developing stuff right away. But certainly knowing that something is well received goes a long way towards whether you develop product or not. So that adds even more time to it, just to see how well it goes over. So a lot of the time when we develop something editorial, we just base it on if there's a really cool look that we think would make a nice piece.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Thanks.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. Do I keep cutting out?
No, you're fine. We can
No,
go. Jeff, did you have any questions?
No.
Jeff Delaney?
We should probably talk about the virus a little bit. For the next 9 to 12 months, do you imagine that Diamond Select will be releasing as much product as they did last year, or are they drawing back a little bit because of the virus? I imagine some comic shops probably won't survive this. So, but is that business just going to move to your side and distributors? Do you think it'll all even out in the end? Or what do you see in the next 6 to 9 months regarding the virus and Diamond Select?
I'm not much of a predictor of these things. I know that, obviously there are a lot of retailers that had to adjust orders based on what's going on. And, that's certainly affecting, how many we're shipping and that sort of thing. So I guess we'll see. We'll have to see. I can't predict what's going to happen next 6 to 9 months. I'm just curious whether New York Comic Con is going to happen. I'm assuming maybe not at this point, but it'd be cool if it did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful that we're still getting some of these online Comic Cons. I know they're not the same, but it's always exciting this time of year to see all the new reveals. So I'm really glad to hear that we're going to see some new stuff from Diamond Select, and it's always a time to get the fans hyped up and excited about new things that are coming. So I'm really excited about that. We did have another question here. Dan Blaster 82 says, do you have any big discussions on packaging for product? For example, the window box packaging for the statues, was it to show the product at all angles or for collectors to display in the box? I know like Funko Pops, people leave in the box. Is that kind of the way it was designed for, like, especially like I think of like the gallery, versions, like you can see from all angles pretty much, and it lets you see exactly what you're going to get before you buy it. Was that intentional, or what's the process like on that?
I know that there are different decisions for different packaging, but I think whenever we do something, I think our ultimate goal is to let you see the actual piece as much as possible. So anytime we can do, maximum number of windows, we will. With the gallery pieces, because they're a little more durable, we can afford to put them in a plastic clamshell and have them be more on display. Whereas with a resin piece, you got to have it packed in foam, you got to have it all sealed up. So you may have seen some busts in the past where they've had like a little window and a cutout. I don't know if we've ever done that, but I've seen it on certain busts. So I think whenever somebody wants to whenever a company can show a piece off, the actual physical piece, I think they want to do that. So if the side effect is that you can display it in package and get a good look at it from 3 different angles, then that's awesome. But in my opinion, they always look better out of package. So. But I understand that storage doesn't always make that possible.
It's great question. Great question from Dan. How about one more here? Michael Cecilia says, since we're digging deep in the library, are we going to get a Disney Black Cauldron license? Is that a possibility?
Hey, the Horned King was really cool in that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've actually seen the movie. I read the books when I was a kid, all 5 of the books for that series.
Terrifying.
But
yeah,
honestly, that's not the most obscure Disney movie people have ever suggested based on that. So somebody was saying like the Boogeties. I haven't even seen that. Nobody suggested the computer wore tennis shoes yet, but I'm expecting that to come along at some point. There's a lot of Disney made a lot of movies in the 70s and 80s that were that people have a lot of nostalgia for. But whether they translate to really good product, it's sort of hit or miss. Somebody suggested Flight of the Navigator.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen that in a long time. There's apparently a robot in there, which I don't even remember, so I'd have to check that out.
Is Disney a hard license to acquire? I know there's a lot of probably qualifications with them, and they're such a giant company. Has that been an issue at all for you guys?
No. They want to know that. That we're making a good product and that we're making it the right way, and that's what any company wants. So they've been happy with us, and we've done a lot of different stuff with them. Tron and Black Hole, like I mentioned, Nightmare Before Christmas. So they seem to like what we're doing, and we work with them on a lot of different obviously we work with them on Marvel, and we work with them on Star Wars. So we're definitely in the Disney business, and they seem to like what we're doing.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it just goes to show you with how many licenses you have. It just goes to show you the reputation that Diamond Select has and the quality that they continue to put out. So I tip my hat to you guys. That's just awesome.
No, thank you.
That's awesome. You are free to stay with us if you want to. We're going to move on to some other topics, but I just want to thank you so very much for being here. It's just such an honor for you to be able to come on, and it's been so much fun learning a little bit more about Diamond Select.
No, I'm a big fan of the channel, and I look forward to watching more of these podcasts. So thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you could stick around, or you can go. I know you're busy, so whatever you want to do.
I'll go check and make sure my kids are in bed, but I'll let you talk about other statues from other companies. But thank you so much. It's great meeting all you guys.
All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Zach.
very much.
Thanks,
Thank
Zach.
you very much,
We'll
Zach.
see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was awesome, right? That
That was very fun.
That was
That
very
was
cool.
very cool.
It's always neat to be able to talk to these folks in the industry because, they're the people behind the scenes that we never get to see their faces. We never get to talk to them necessarily. We've had some really great luck on this show of being able to talk to some amazing people in the industry. And I have some more people lined up, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But great questions in the chat as well. But let's move on to topic 2. Let's do that. So topic 2 is going to be, let me get rid of that, online Comic-Con. So we referred to it a little bit before. There's going to be a couple of different things. One that was a really big announcement this week was, is a DC fandom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So DC fandom was a big announcement. It's going to be like this 24-hour event. And I guess everything's just going to be kind of uploaded to their website, and you can kind of just go to each section. Is that kind of what you guys are hearing?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Okay. What are you guys excited about with that? I've heard rumors for movie trailers and maybe video games. What are you guys hearing?
I'm hearing a mix of stuff. The Rock announced, I believe it was today or last night, that he's going to be attending the Shazam panel. So
Nice.
he'll be there talking. Not Shazam. Black Adam. Sorry, Black Adam. Yeah, he's going to be doing the Black Adam panel. He announced that. I'm pretty much open. I have zero issues, zero anything, except for the fact that instead of waiting in these long lines, that I think that some of the servers are going to crash. Everyone's going to be waiting to log in, or there might be peaks of so much activity at certain times that whether it is a trailer, or whether it is a panel. Thank God the panels aren't going to be live. Have you heard if the panels are going to be live? I don't know if they're.
I can't see them being live.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, and if they're not live, and I think that, and I'm leaning towards like 99.9%. My concern is that if there are certain aspects of the panels or people traffic on the website, it'll be worse than waiting in line. It'll crash. It couldn't handle the traffic or whatever. So outside of that, if there's nothing bad with things like that, to be honest with you, I'm open to anything and everything, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. What about the rest of you guys? What are you hearing?
I mean, it certainly seems like they're looking at a blend of different features, like you were referring to, Chris. I think, as I was thinking about this topic coming into the show, one of the things I was thinking about was, one of the best parts of going to the cons, other than the environment itself, is experiencing these really cool exhibits, right? It's going into the sideshow booth and getting up and close with these things, and they're all displayed in a way that you don't get to see on the website. And I remember when, on Susan Damon's show on Sideshow, when she first started doing that show and she was in the conference room, remember she had the pieces behind her and everything.
Yep.
It was just kind of cool seeing the statues in a different way like that. And so as I was thinking about what would be cool to see at these virtual cons, was if they maybe actually set up displays, like if they have produced segments and it's not just, photo of the statue with, somebody kind of hosting at a desk. It just would be kind of boring.
Yeah.
But
I would love to see, if it's product reveal, and we'll get to that here in a second, but I mean, imagine if they had everything set up in a big room and they actually went with the camera from piece to piece like they normally do, like make it feel like, because that's what I love. I love those videos where they go from piece to piece behind the glass and like, oh, there's glare and you can't see it. And so they try to,
exactly.
I love all of that, and I look forward to that every single year. And I know you guys do as well. And so I'm really hoping that we get to see some of that. Also, I'm hearing maybe some new video game stuff. Have you guys been hearing like the Suicide Squad rumor about maybe a Rocksteady Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I just heard that. That's cool.
So what do you guys think of that?
Yep.
Love it.
I first of all, I think it's cool. I'm right there with you, Dan. I just don't know if how they're going to do it. Are there going to be certain sections that you interchange with characters? Is it you pick your own character? Is it, I mean, with such a squad like that, is it going to be like pick your own mission with, the certain characters, or is there going to be online multiplayer? Is there going to be local multiplayer? So like, Jeff is sitting next to me and he and I play as two of the characters. Like, I'm curious to see how it's going to play out, but I have no fears with Rocksteady doing it.
Well, it'll be interesting. I know that like the one that everybody really wants, at least in my neck of the woods, is the Arkham game. We've been hearing the rumors forever and ever. And it was rumored that we were going to get it earlier this year, but then with the pandemic and everything else, it changed that. So do you guys think that we might finally get to see a reveal from, I can't even think of the name, the one that
Montreal Warner Brothers.
Thank you. And I know that that's another issue where they're trying to maybe sell off the video game division. So do you think we'll actually see that game?
I think so. I do. In what context? I have no idea. I would prefer, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I would prefer to be just kind of caught off guard with a full-on gameplay trailer than to be like, oh, we have some storyboards and some concept art. Like that doesn't, then that tells me there's still another year away.
Yeah.
So for me, I would prefer to be like, well, I know it's coming soon, and I would love to be like, here's the trailer, and the game's coming out at Christmas. You're like, oh.
Speaking of trailers, it's rumored that we're going to get a Batman trailer with, the Robert Pattinson Batman.
That would be good.
At least a teaser, but they did mention it specifically, and also the new Suicide Squad film. So anything else you guys are hearing that you're looking forward to, maybe?
Haven't heard yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, not much. Other than the advertisement of it, no. Not much.
Well, that kind of makes it exciting because you don't really know what to expect.
I wonder if these companies, whether it's the studios or the statue companies or toy companies, I wonder if they're still kind of scrambling. I wonder if there was a significant percentage of their plan that was kind of hoping that these things would pan out and, we'd be able to have cons in the second half of the summer. I bet they're still scrambling because has Sideshow really said much of anything?
They've not really said anything as far as I know. Now I do know that like when I've talked to Sideshow before, I know that they plan like a year ahead,
Right.
that they are well ahead. And I remember one time, when you mentioned Susan earlier, happy birthday, Susan. Her birthday was yesterday. So she's been under the weather for a while. So I wish you a speedy recovery, and I hope you're doing better. I had chatted with her a little bit yesterday. So happy birthday. But I remember whenever I was first talking with Sideshow about maybe having her on the channel when she first came on. Yeah. And I remember that this was like January, and they said they were already too busy. They were planning for San Diego, like they just didn't have the time. So it just goes to show you how far in advance. So they were already working on some of this stuff, probably, well before all of this hit. So I think in like terms of Sideshow, I think that they're going to be fine. And I would imagine other companies would be similar, with how they plan. But since we kind of talked a little bit about Sideshow and San Diego Comic-Con, what are you guys looking forward to this year? It's going to be here before we know it. It's going to be here late July. Do you think that we'll see like a full special presentation from like Sideshow? Do you think we'll see any Prime One pieces since they're working together again? And what pieces are you looking forward to seeing or hoping to see?
I'd love for Sideshow and Prime One to have kind of renewed our relationship, and we're coming in, and I think they have a real opportunity with some of the Dark Knights metal pieces that Prime One's been kind of teasing for a long time now. Death metal will have heated that whole aspect of the DC multiverse, so to speak, back up. So it'd be great to see them, maybe come out with Red Death or one of the other Dark Knights would be super cool.
It would be awesome. That would be awesome. How about you, Rick?
I'm right there with Dan. It would be really neat to see some of the death metal and the dark metal characters. For me, I would also like to see that relationship, like Dan said, with Prime One. I just, for me, going into something new like this, I want to be blown away, but I don't want to be like blown away. Does that make sense? Like,
For like money wise, you mean?
yeah.
Like, are we talking like I don't want to like anything, so I don't have to spend the money on it? Yeah,
Exactly. I just want to see like stick figures, twigs made into human beings. Like that would be so much easier for me. What I mean is I would love. So I was at the Comic-Con where they revealed the first trailer for the first Godzilla movie. And no one saw that coming, and I damn near shit myself when I. Oh, sorry. And no one knew. There was no chatter whatsoever. There was not even a peep, and that's kind of what I would like for this online Comic-Con to be like just something that no one is expecting. No chatter whatsoever. And it doesn't have to be Batman. It doesn't have to be DC related. It doesn't have to be Marvel, but it could be a few things. Like Prime One could have like this diorama of the Justice League or something that oh man, like they kept it so under wraps. Or there's this new Marvel line that Sideshow's doing, or something that just literally blows us out of the water, and you're just like, I never even heard that. Like there wasn't even anything else, So that's where I think that with the first time that these companies are doing it, it gives them an advantage to control that.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you, Chris. I would love to see some of these companies, whether it's Diamond Select, Sideshow, even if Prime One did their own package, it'd be really cool if like the video package of these new statues had that tangible-esque quality, because that's certainly you're going to miss.
Yes.
With not going to the Comic-Con. So instead of just having it sit there, have it compare
somebody the camera people going around.
Yeah, exactly, Joe. Exactly. Yep.
Like when you go to see the YouTube people.
Because
you see so much more than they're able to show you.
Yep.
You actually get a much better idea of what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like last year, everybody was trashing that Flash statue till the video came out.
That's right.
Yep.
And then it went
gangbusters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's.
I
I love good photography, but I crave the videos way more.
Yeah.
Because definitely more realistic of what you're actually going to get.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm really going to miss not doing a booth tour at San Diego.
I know. Jeff always does such a great job. I mean, geez, and that's the thing. Is how many years have you been doing it now?
I've only done it 3 years, but I've only been into statues for 4 or 5. So, but it is a different perspective, because Sideshow always does their tour, but they're selling the product, so they have to have a very positive attitude about every piece.
Sure.
Whereas someone like me or you can go into it knowing what the community has been talking about each individual piece, and can respond to each concern about each piece in a much more honest way than a representative from Sideshow can. So, and it's, it's just a ball. It's so much fun to be there on preview night. And, they don't even let you take pictures before the doors open at 6. So I'm always kind of sneaking pictures and avoiding security.
Don't tell your secrets. Come on.
Yeah, I know. And then 6 o'clock rolls around, and I jump in there and immediately start the booth tour. And I do that in a half an hour. I walk over to one of the refreshment places, sit down and at a table, edit my video and upload it right there and get it out as fast as I possibly can. And then I spend 5 days looking at those same pieces, because it's so much fun to walk around their booth. And I'm really, really going to miss that. And also, you meet so many collectors and you'll have sideshow employees walk up to you and just say, "Hey, I enjoy your channel," and it's a real community experience, and that is going to be absent from the online Comic-Con. I think, I'm going to really age myself now. I've been going to San Diego since 1985.
Oh, wow.
The first time I went to San Diego, I stood in a line of 20 people and walked up and handed a $10 bill to a guy sitting at a table, and walked into a room. The entire convention was in a room smaller than Hall H now.
Wow.
Which is a tiny part of San Diego Comic-Con. And it was a completely different experience. Back then, it was 100% comics. There was a few movie things. I think George Lucas showed Star Wars there before it was anywhere else.
That's awesome.
But for the most part, it was all comics. And I'm not as concerned as Rick is that we're going to have problems with things crashing for the online Comic-Con, because it's always been one of the best comic shows, no doubt about it. But it wasn't until cosplay was introduced when things got a little bit bigger. And then when they introduced Comic-Con exclusives, it exploded. And there are a tremendous number of people who go to that show either for the free exclusives or to buy exclusive that then they list on eBay and make a pretty good profit on. If you take all that away, which is pretty much what happens with the online Comic-Con, you're dealing with a much smaller crowd than the 125,000 people that pack into the convention center each of those 5 days. So I maybe there will be, crashing servers and stuff, but I suspect. Let me give you another example. Every year I go to Comic-Con. There's all these great panels in Hall H that I used to go to when the crowds were smaller, but I don't go to now because you have to sleep overnight outside to even get in the room, which I won't do because I'm older. So
aren't we all?
But the point is, I always think to myself, it's okay. They video all those panels. I can go back next week when I'm at home and I can watch all those panels from my couch, and I never do. I never go back and watch them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad they're doing an online Comic-Con. As far as Sideshow, I hope that they do at least as much as they normally do as far as reveals. I think it'd be cool if they did a little more. Just because it's only an online Comic-Con and we don't have that feeling of being there in person.
Well, I think the big problem is that I would think that companies use Comic-Con obviously because they want to attract new customers. I mean, the online stuff I think is going to be just for us, our core group.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine it's probably going to be maybe a little bit more frustrating for companies because they might not have that wide approach or that wide net that they're trying to cast to get new people into the hobby.
Yeah.
I still feel like I feel like channels like us, I think we're going to be able to help because we're going to be promoting that, and hopefully, we're always getting new subscribers and people interested in the hobby. I'm amazed by how many new collectors there are right now with everything going on, but there's a ton of new collectors that are just getting into the hobby. You guys know I like to do a lot of kind of videos for the community, like to kind of introduce things like terms or like how to dust your statues or whatever I just did. Yeah. I like to do those videos because there's so many people that tell me all the time, like, I'm new. I had no idea about this stuff. And so I'm just always amazed by how many new collectors there are. And so I'm still hoping that by doing these online Comic-Cons, we're still going to get some of that excitement and still be able to bring in more people into the community. But I would imagine that that's definitely a smaller pinpoint at this point.
I think Diamond Select is part of that. They're a gateway drug.
Yes, they are. Yeah. They are. And I say this all the time. It's like everybody starts with Diamond Select, or they start with Hot Toys, and then they move from Hot Toys and they go up. And I think all of us in this chat has done that. Like we started at a certain scale and worked our way up until we find kind of where our favorite is. But you're exactly right. Tweeterhead, another company, I know they're going to be revealing some things here. And I don't know exactly how they're going to reveal things, but Chad has shown me some things. I know he's shown you, Jeff, some things, and some people are going to be blown away by what he's going to be bringing out to you guys. And so I know that there's going to be a lot of excitement. I just don't know how they're going to present that for sure. I don't know. Did you ever say which pieces that you would like to see, Jeff?
I have a big list.
That's awesome. Let's hear it.
From DC, I really want a Martian Manhunter. They have to complete the JLA or the Justice League, and that's all they got to do is Martian Manhunter.
You want that from Sideshow?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is all Sideshow.
All Sideshow. Okay.
I'd like to see a Hawkman. They're doing Hawkgirl. I'd like to see Hawkman. Seems obvious.
Yep.
I would like a Kingdom Come Superman.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. And I would like a Shazam, but comic based or also from Kingdom Come. I'm not that excited about a movie based Shazam. And then from Marvel, Storm, I think would be great.
Storm,
they haven't done her. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care which Storm it is, as long as it's awesome. I'd like to see a Nightcrawler, but I guess Disney has said we're not doing Nightcrawler. Then we've got The Thing. I'd love to see a new The Thing. They've reintroduced the Fantastic Four. A comic-based Hulk. The last couple of Hulks they've done has either been, they've been Gladiator Hulk, which is comic-based, but they did 2 movie-based. I want a classic comic Hulk. I think that'd be great. A She-Hulk PF. I know they did the 1/5. I want 1/4. And then you guys were talking to Zach about doing a Stan Lee piece. I'd like a Stan Lee PF. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I think that'd be really fun. And then I have a short list of pieces that I think that we're actually going to see, not the ones that I want to see.
Reality has just set in.
Yeah. There's 5 pieces from 12 Days of Sideshow that have not been revealed.
Aha.
So we're going to see those. It's going to be the Dark Sorceress, Dragon Slayer, Bounty Hunter, which I think are all Sideshow properties. I don't think those are licensed.
Yeah.
And then the Witcher Wild Hunt and Cyberpunk 2077. I think we're going to see an example of each of those.
I'm trying to think. Did they just have that one first teaser on Silver Surfer?
It's just the purple background with the logo.
Nothing else, right?
So we're going to see him.
Yeah, that thing. I was talking with Daniel Bell when he was on. That was like our biggest question. Like everybody was asking about that piece.
Yeah.
So maybe that they held it because of that anticipation. Maybe I don't know.
Probably.
But that's I agree. I think we're definitely going to see that piece there for sure. How about you, Jeff Morris? What are you wanting to see from San Diego Comic-Con or Sideshow or anybody?
I really think that if Sideshow and Prime One are smart, they'll mend their fence, whatever it is, get over whatever it was and fix it. I think it could only benefit both of them. And I think that because it only helped both of them, so then they really need to just get their crap back together. And
do you want to see like more collabs again then?
Those pieces were all, pretty good. I think that was pretty smart for them to do. I wouldn't mind seeing some more collaborations with them. I love the Green Lantern that I have. That's my favorite Green Lantern that I've seen.
It's a fun piece.
Yeah.
Nope, we just lost Jeff. He disappeared.
Other Jeff, where'd you go?
Other Jeff. He might have had to go. I don't know. Well, there he is.
Jeff one was stealing his thunder.
How dare you leave, sir? How dare you?
I hit the wrong button.
You were not dismissed.
Operator error.
I hit eject.
You got the
If you guys
look,
guys in the audience, like you guys don't necessarily know this, but we use StreamYard and there's all these buttons, and I'm amazed. Like I don't know about you guys, but on my end, I've got all these extra buttons, and I like sometimes if I try to let's say I highlight Jeff here, so I can hit that button, but the button right below it removes him from the stream. So, so if you're ever removed by I'm not mad at you. I just actually hit the wrong button.
the digital trap door.
That's right. Yeah. Well, did we cut you off? Were you finished with your thought?
I really think since maybe it's been a yearish, maybe Sideshow will do some of the Dark Knight's metal.
They might.
Very
If they're
popular.
smart.
They're
If
smart.
they're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do I want to see? I don't know. I'm trying not to have very many anticipate much of it or expectations for it, because I see what it is. I hope we get to see as much as we normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might see a new diorama. 2 years ago, they did the Superman versus Batman. And then was it 4 or 5 years ago, they did the Hulk Wolverine.
Yep.
So it's time. I don't know what it would be, maybe Spider-Man related or something.
Well, they showed the Spider-Man Venom.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Well, that could be very, very cool.
I still think they should do that. Colossus and Wolverine. What is their move?
Fastball.
Yeah, the fastball special.
Yep.
They need to do that.
That's awesome.
That would be pretty neat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm going to say, but
Riddler, Penguin.
Penguin. Ventriloquist.
Penguin, Riddler,
Calendar Man.
To me, I think we're going to see at least one. I just feel like I think they did well with Freeze. I think they did well with Scarecrow. They both look amazing, and those are due out the next 4 or 5 months, allegedly. And so I'm very excited. I really do feel like we'll see a couple more pieces in that villains line, maybe even a hero. And we did see Robin. I mean, maybe we would see a Nightwing, possibly. I'm not sure. The fact that they finally did a Robin, I think there's a good chance. But like, you guys were talking about Dark Knight's metal. I don't know if they would go there because they always do their own take. They don't really go specifically to a book. Would I like to see Sideshow's take on Batman Who Laughs? Yeah. He's an incredibly popular character. Obviously, the Prime 1 statue is incredible and has done very, very well for Prime 1. So I would think that maybe there would be some interest. Also, having conversations with some people, I feel like that they're going to try to be a little bit more adventurous with what they're doing at Sideshow. Kind of offering some new pieces and maybe some new dynamic poses and things that we maybe haven't seen in a while. So I think that that's coming. So I think that we will have some surprises like that. But for me, it's all about the villains. It's like that's what I want. But even the stuff that I don't want, I always appreciate because I love seeing the new stuff. I love seeing what the new direction is and what pieces they're bringing out. What licenses they're bringing out. I'm sure we'll see some new Court of the Dead stuff from them. But like Dan originally said, I'm really hoping for some Prime 1 reveals as well. That relationship seems to be better, and I'm very optimistic that maybe we can see maybe at least one maybe new product reveal. I would love to see Talon, some other things that were teased that might just surprise us. So I don't know, but there's a lot of interesting possibilities. I hope it's presented in the way we've been talking about. I would really like to see that camera following around with everything set up in a room somewhere. I think that would be awesome.
I'm available.
That would be the smart thing for them to do.
Right. That's right. So if you're watching, you fly us down. We would love to cover your event. I'll wear a mask, no problem. And I will definitely stay away 6 feet away from Jeff. I don't want to be anywhere near him. So I'm just kidding. But no, wouldn't that be fun?
I'm only 60 miles away.
Oh, that's right. So you don't even have to fly Jeff in. See,
Yeah.
see, we already have it. We already have it figured out. It would be really cool.
That'd be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Someday we'll do a con remote. Rogues Gallery live.
Oh my gosh, that would be a dream. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
We could have done it this year.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
New York, I know New York would probably, for 3 of us, it would be very easy because Jeff could drive to my house from Tennessee to Virginia, and then we could take the train up to New York and meet Dan. So that's 3 right there. And you guys would either fly in straight into New York and we could either meet you or whatever. I mean, the world's our oyster. We can plan it any way we want.
That's right. I would love that. I have a feeling it probably won't happen this year. I don't feel New York's going to happen.
No.
I just
it won't either.
things are firing back up a little bit, so I can't imagine them taking that.
Nobody
risk.
wants to wear a mask. Everybody has to get,
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody had to get a haircut. So.
Everybody got to look pretty. But
I think for me the surprise, and this kind of goes to what you were saying, Chris, in I think it might have been last episode or the one before. If Prime One and Sideshow have really solidified their relationship, or if they have, their partnership, I would love to see them do something different in their statues, so they could say, hey, we're coming out, just for the sake of the conversation, we're coming out with a new Batman. With this Batman, you can choose your base. It is a Prime One statue, but Sideshow would do the base, or Prime One does the selection of base, and you can choose between two bases. You're still going to have the swap outs, but of the swap outs, you can get 2 of 3 heads, and through Sideshow they would distribute it and stuff like that. Like, I would just like to see something different offered along those lines.
That would be neat. I'm thinking like logistics of that as you were talking. Like, I don't know if they would do that, because there would be so many different elements of packaging and styrofoam and all that stuff. But it would be cool to have something like that offered. I've said for years, like, I would love for companies maybe just to throw collectors a bone and say, hey, here's a piece that's been out for 3 years, but here's a new head sculpt for it. Or, and I know financially that probably doesn't make sense at all for them, but I just think it's a way, we've talked about it before, is just keeping your collection fresh and adding something new. But again, there's logistics of would it fit into the statue correctly? And, that's the problem with replacements. A lot of times the replacements don't fit properly and stuff like that. So I don't ever see that happening, but it would be cool just to do something like that, just to kind of maybe invigorate the hobby a little bit, but that'd be cool. That'd be neat.
Just something that offered, like, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I get it. There are certain limitations that these companies have, but to maybe step out of a bit of a comfort zone and say, hey, what's wrong with not trying something just a little different that we can tweak, that we can manage? And that to me would be a nice surprise. Like, oh wow, like, it's not a molded cape, it's it's actual something, or oh wow, we get to choose between 2 bases. I would like to see that effort in stepping forward. That's all.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Anything else before we go to pictures, guys?
Let's go to pictures.
Yeah,
pictures.
All right, let me turn this off here.
So there actually is a small Comic-Con or comic show in Valencia, California coming up. I'm not going to go. My wife would kill me. But they're giving it a shot.
Wow. There's one in my hometown as well. It's going to be in July. And this is the 3rd year they've done it. The first year I went through the entire thing in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That tells you how small it is. And so I have a feeling that it would be something similar to that, but God bless them for trying,
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
You let 20 people in at a time or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
yeah.
I mean, it didn't draw massive crowds anyway. Our town's 50,000 people. So, but who knows? Who knows? All right, let's do some screen sharing here. All right. So I'm going to start us off this week with this picture right here.
I know.
So I had to throw this in here because this has become a giant meme in less than 24 hours. This is the Ant-Man sculpt from Hot Toys. And it's gotten a lot of buzz because of this smile. But I just had to show you all these things that,
oh my God,
that people have been doing, all these memes. Just since yesterday. What do you guys think of this sculpt?
oh my God.
Every now and then they just screw the pooch. And they did.
It's just.
But, see, I didn't think that Harley Quinn looked any better
No,
It
doesn't-
doesn't. It
I don't
doesn't
like
look any better than that one does.
I love this one. This one's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like
I
that
love
one.
that one.
Oh my god.
So good.
But everybody acts like they didn't send you didn't get the helmeted version. So
This is all a lot of free advertising.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
It's
Yep.
not going to hurt it.
No.
you
But
know,
anyway, I just had to throw it in here.
the Ant-Man from Civil War came with the Paul Rudd head sculpt, and it's never come out of the box. So nobody ever uses them. So I don't know. Well,
It's funny about him because he's made fun of all of his figures. They're always
Yeah.
off. He's got a weird smirk or something. So anyway, I just had to show that off. So let's talk about this statue. This is unveiled by XM Studios. This is part of their worldwide license, and it's part of their Batman Sanity, or excuse me, Samurai line. Dan, I'm really curious. You have the original piece. What do you feel about them offering a second one?
I'm glad I have the first one.
There you go.
I mean, I think this looks okay. I think it looks cool. I mean, anything with the bat signal is cool. It looks like the detail, they did a great job. I like the piece. I love the one I have. So I'm not sure, it'll be interesting to see what the response is to the piece, because, if you jump in on the Samurai line, say you jumped in a little bit after the Batman piece, you're into it late and you're going all in or close to it. I don't know if this would check the box for me. I think I'd want to get the original Batman for the line. But that's just me. I don't know. I mean, I think this looks pretty cool.
It's very similar to the Iron Studios piece. That's 1/3 scale. What about the rest of you guys? What do you feel about this piece?
I'm going to get it. And I have the original.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to keep both. I was actually pretty excited about this because Aang posted this on Facebook pretty late at night for me, and you guys were probably asleep.
Yep.
And I'm like, how can I wake the guys up? This is cool. But looking at the detail around that bat signal, I think that's going to look awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, that detail. You can tell from some of these other pictures, there's switch out arms with a grapple gun and one where he's wielding the sword instead of pulling it out.
This front arm here.
Yeah, I think it's going to sell just as fast as the first one did if they stay with their 999 edition size maximum. Because the first one sold out in a blink. And I do think it's going to be very popular with people who missed out on the first one and have bought any of the other pieces. And I think it's also going to help sales for Nightwing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I agree.
Robin, actually all of them.
Yep.
People are probably going to buy this and start looking on eBay for Catwoman. And
yeah, you have people like me that have considered this line, but then I'm like, okay, well, if I would get this piece, then I'm like, okay, well, now I probably have to have the Joker. I probably have to have Penguin. And so I'm right there with you on that one.
So, and it's going to help Joker sales big time too.
Yes.
So Jeff, two questions for you. One, is it the bat signal that's selling you on this piece, or is it the different suit? Like
is the suit that different?
He looks bulkier, this version of it.
This is definitely bulkier.
To me, that's a plus. No, I like the whole thing. The only thing I'm not crazy about right now is the way that they have the cape.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I like how it's draped. And XM has been known to change things throughout the process of a statue. So I think they might tweak it, but I have no reason to think that, but they might because they've done it on everything else.
Yeah.
No, I like the whole thing. And it's crazy to have both, but I think maybe that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I mean, you guys weren't awake, so I had to text Todd and say, Todd, look at this thing.
I'm so excited. Oh, that's awesome.
So are you? And so the second part of the question, Jeff, is: are you going in now on some of the newer pieces that are coming out? I mean, I know you have the Deathstroke, but
Joker's a serious possibility.
yeah,
But probably not Robin or Nightwing for space issues.
right.
Harley is tempting, but boy, she's really wide, isn't she?
She's pretty wide.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
as crazy as you think, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, she's
With the
she's
scooter and
probably
everything?
much, if at all, much wider than Deathstroke.
Oh, really? Even with the scooter and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been really contemplating Bane lately. I don't know if you guys don't have that piece, right?
No.
Don't have that piece.
I don't know. It keeps speaking to me for some reason, and I know that's a wide piece also. Like I just don't know if I have the depth in this room to pull it
I mean,
off.
none of them are very small. You know, I'm looking up right now. I mean, Batman's probably the most narrow of the three that I have right now. Batgirl is pretty wide. Deathstroke's pretty wide. They're not small pieces.
So do they how deep are they? Like Dan, compared to the new 52 Batman base, like are they that big?
No.
Well, if you consider all the stuff that jets out off of them,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they've got all these. They seem more delicate in a lot of ways to me. They've got the fine points that are sticking out. You know, I've got mine on a. I'm looking at Batgirl and Deathstroke right now, and they're on a 16-inch shelf, a 16-inch deep shelf. And they're taking all the 16 inches. I wouldn't want them on a shelf more narrow than that.
I've got my bookshelves, and one thing that I've been contemplating is adding a wider board on top, like mounting that board on top, and then being able to extend past the shelf a little bit, so I can accommodate a little bit wider shelving. I think that's what I might.
That's a great idea, Chris.
Because I think it's like 14 inches, but if I maybe would go 16 inches or something, I think that I would still have enough support and just be able to screw right into the existing wood. And so that's what I'm thinking. I think that I could maybe accommodate some more Prime 1 pieces and some other pieces. So
that's a great idea.
That's kind of where I'm at this week.
Well, Jeff, I'm glad that you're getting this piece. I can't wait. For me, it'd be a space issue. I love the bat signal like you. Like I said, that was the first thing I mentioned. But I'd have the space for him.
I'm also considering this one.
I'm just going from a visceral reaction when I first saw it. Oh my God, gotta have it.
That's awesome.
But Chris, if I were you, I'd go for it, especially since you don't have the first one. It seems like a natural.
And my problem also is I just ordered the Sengoku Joker.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, there's some news.
I did. That's the Prime 1 Batman Ninja Joker.
Do you have enough bullets, Chris?
I don't.
With the round back.
I did not do the big round art. I
Okay.
just did the basic piece. And I don't know. It was an impulse buy. I love it. I don't know. I have no place to put it. Zero. I was talking about that earlier. I have no idea where it's going to go, but I just love that piece. And I don't know if it's because I'm seeing all of this, ancient China, ancient Japan type influence on these pieces. And I'm like, okay, I really like this stuff. But I just don't know which rabbit hole to jump down. So I obviously jumped down one. So anyway, there's a little bit of news for you guys.
That is some news.
That is news.
So I ordered that this week, and I also ordered the Harley Quinn premium format. I told you guys before the show, but the newer Harley Quinn, just because I want to be able to see which one I like better between that one and the OG. So I did some purchasing this week.
Wow,
nice. Consider me unsettled.
I like that one on roller skates.
I do too, and I might get her too. I might do a 3-way comparison on those. I just don't know which one I'm going to like better.
If you had like an entertaining space or something, what you could do is you could in your house, if you had you have the Bat Cave, and that one Harley is in there, and then if you had like a bar space, entertaining space, then you could have like your party statues, and the one with the roller skates could be in the party room.
There you go. Well, I need you to send a notarized letter to my wife and talk her into it.
Just start moving one in at a time.
Yeah, that's right. One thing at a time.
One every week or so.
There you go. Let's move on to this one. This is just a new one from Iron Studios. This is out for pre-order. I can't remember this one's name.
Pyro.
Yeah, Pyro. And I know some people are really excited about these. They're just kind of going to town on these 110 pieces. Yeah. Really, really cool stuff from Iron Studios. But
that's going to really, like, those Sentinels are going to be.
Yeah.
That'll have to go on dining room tables.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of space because there's so many characters.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I had another one after that, but we'll move on to this. So this is that Batman Ninja piece that I was talking about. This is from a fellow collector, and he filmed a. Oh, do I have an echo?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm hearing an echo on my end. Sorry. This is from a fellow collector, and he just did a review for us. So that'll be up in the channel here in the next few days. So,
great.
That's really pretty.
He does a really good job with some really great close-ups. He did not want to talk on camera, so I just did my thoughts on the piece. And so I thank him for doing that. So look forward to that.
Looks like he's got some nice stuff.
Oh my gosh, I know. Just so great stuff back there. Great collector. And I believe he was down in the Philippines, I believe. Okay. So this is another Iron Studios piece. I thought she looked great. What do you think of this one, guys?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good sculpt.
I think the face and hair are really cool. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great sculpt.
I actually like the hair and stuff a little better than the premium format version.
Yeah, the base. I like the colors. It's kind of that translucent.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they'd made the suit. There's a lot of bright yellow going on there.
Yeah,
I wish they weathered it a bit. Kind of like how they did the Rogue premium format, where in the boots and you can see in her uniform, there's been life to it. So it would have been pretty cool to kind of see, some parts worn a little bit, some dirt and grit and whatnot. That would have been neat.
Well, if or even a different color on the elbow.
Yeah.
Or like a metallic gold.
Yeah, like something here or something down here on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, just break it up a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and she'll probably be $150.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is from Infinity Studio. I mean, look at this thing. This is life size.
Insane.
That is crazy.
Freaking crazy.
It's just
it looks so real.
My wife said that the first thing she said is like his forehead's wrong, and I'm like, "Hey, really? How do you know his forehead's wrong?" Looking at Momoa way too much, but I thought that was funny. She said that she's like, "That forehead's wrong." She also, the first time I showed her Batman New 52, the first thing she said was, "Oh, it's a ballerina Batman." So that gives you kind of her mindset.
well, Chris, you are in a Disney family, so
I am. Ballerina Batman.
So anyway, I think I want to subscribe to your wife's YouTube channel.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to throw this is a production piece as well. So really incredible.
Yeah, those pieces, man, they are wow. Yeah, they are just amazing. My one issue out of the entire line of that is the Superman one, where he's revealing.
Yeah.
That is my one issue. I would have why are everybody else in their proper, outfit and gear, and Superman is more Clark Kent than he is Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just don't feel like that head sculpt is as good of likeness.
Yep.
Either. Yep. But anyway, incredible piece.
I think Batman's the best one.
Yeah. Batman's incredible. This one is from Prime One Studio. This is the Aliens Warrior Alien, and this one is just shown off with official photos and pre-order this week. This thing looks incredible.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, their Alien line over the years, and like I was saying before, I think last episode, like their Alien lines, their Predator line, and like their fantasy line is always top notch.
Just a lot of details, a lot of swap outs and things. So
this one looks like what I would expect if I were going to get an Alien. That's what I would want.
Yeah,
to look like from the movie, not a
Yeah, you want it to be mechanical. You want it to be alien. You want it to be what's Geiger? Is that right? The Geiger look. But I tip my hat to Prime One. I think this looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Love the sheen on it, the black sheen.
The egg.
Yeah, it's really cool. Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
look at this. Look how gooey that looks.
bad. It looks like it smells bad.
That's the one factory paint that I might not sniff.
That's like
I want to give a shout out to this guy right here. He is the one that won the Batman from Tweeterhead, and I just want to congratulate him one more time. And I just am so glad that he got it finally. He's up in Canada, so it took a long time to get to him. But anyway, I love when people win on this channel. So congratulations.
That's awesome.
yeah, that's a great Batman.
I threw in some Diamond Select because I didn't know if Zach would be here, but these are some upcoming products that they've just shown off. So we might be able to see some of these for like the Comic Cons, the online. I really like this Batman.
Yeah.
I think it's really incredible. Great sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
Great Captain America, new one of him. And then they also threw in a new Superman. So just some cool stuff from Diamond Select coming up. I wanted to throw a plug here. I believe, Dan, you're getting this correct?
I did. I pulled the trigger on this one yesterday. Couldn't resist.
This is a Del Auto Joker, incredible piece, and apparently it's not like, I guess it's not real canvas, but it's like a canvas print. So you have like a textured, almost like a canvas, and it's signed by Gabriel Del Auto. And this thing is incredible.
It actually is canvas, Chris.
Oh, it is. It actually is canvas. Okay.
It's not stretched.
It's a G-Clay on canvas, so it's a high-res image on canvas.
Okay.
And signed. So you could stretch this.
Yeah.
You could frame it, which I'll likely do is frame it. But it's I mean, to me, that's just a beautiful piece. It matches well with the kind of aesthetic that I'm trying to create in my collection. So I love it.
It's definitely going to fit very well in your collection. I am considering this one as well. I just don't know for sure where I'd put it. With all of my art, I have that same problem, but I love this piece, and you can get it at Bulletproof Comics, correct?
Bulletproof Comics, and the beauty of a piece like this. I mean, the price on this piece, I believe it's limited to 100, and it's $150.
$150.
Yeah. It's 6.5 by 24.5, I believe.
Great price.
How big, Dan? Can you repeat that?
What's that?
Can you repeat that? How big is it?
I believe it's 16.5 by 20. It's either 22.5 or 24.5.
Okay.
So it's a good. I think it's 24.5. So it's a nice size piece, but I mean, at that price point, we have some pieces of art in our collections that are more costly than others, but this is one you could rotate out. It's a good way to freshen your collection.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and just have to give a shout out to Bulletproof too. I ordered this yesterday. It was probably, I don't know, mid-morning or whatever. And within 2 hours, I got the shipping notification with the tracking, and they had it out the door.
That's awesome. They did that. The Del Auto piece that I have with all the Rogues.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. It was very, very quick. And I want to give a shout out to Bruna in the group. Bruna. She always posts these great posts whenever they start selling these items, and she's turned me on to Bulletproof in the first place. So
there's some great art prints from Del Auto.
Yeah,
they do.
I actually got 6 Del Auto pieces today. I just bought them today off of eBay, and they I scoured the internet to find these things and could not be found anywhere. And the guy had the ones I was looking for. And to make matters worse, Del Auto is actually doing signatures, CGCs. If you go to comicsketchart.com, he's doing signings through them. Yeah,
awesome.
Their stuff needs to be in hand by July 1st, but all their information to send it is on their website. If you want stuff signed, they'll even the CGC it on their account, but the ding is $55 a signature.
Oof.
Yeah,
pricey.
I bought the Jason Fabic 3 Jokers cover. From them, the 9.8, and it was obviously supposed to be out by now, but I did buy through them as well, and so definitely check them out. They have a lot of great stuff on there.
Yep. Yep, and they run and if you check their like Twitter and Facebook feeds, they do a lot of surprise like art stuff. They'll say, "Hey, we have this, this, and this," and just write in claim or whatever. So it's good to kind of watch their social media platforms for any surprises. Huh?
Who?
ComicSketchArt.com. Yeah. So
No, check it out.
they're the guys that manage the artists at the Comic-Cons. So like Tom King, Clay Mann, Mitch Gerards, Lee Weeks. They actually handle quite a David Finch. They do David Finch. So they handle quite a bit of artists.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this piece. This is some in-hand photos from the Tang brothers of the new Flash.
That's great.
Daniel Bell piece. What do you guys think in-hand photos here?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did anybody have this on pre-order?
I do.
I figured you'd say that.
I want him.
So what do you guys think of it?
He looks awesome.
He does. I'm right there with Dan. The thing I like about him is the pose that they did, and they almost like lengthened him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's almost like there's like just looking at him, he looks little bit rubbery.
They did.
Yeah.
It's him in motion. He's that's starting.
I mean, that's like captured the motion.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's awesome. That is to me. I mean, the paint job. I'm basing it off of the picture, but in terms of the pose, wow. I think they captured him spot on.
I'm really anxious to see how. I'm almost betting that the leg and the pavement key into the base like their Avengers Black Panther did, where the peg is not going from the foot into the base, but there's a big hunk of the base that goes into the larger base.
Oh, that's in his foot. Oh, right there. I can see it.
Okay.
Can you guys see that line?
Yeah.
Because the pose of the Black Panther piece is lunging forward real similar. And
maybe you slide it in.
Something. Because I don't think it'll lean. I don't think they would have done that.
No.
With the fear of it leaning. So I'm betting that.
I bet it just slides right into it. And there's a big long peg that goes into it that way, like right here.
Yep.
Yep.
They might also do it like Rogue, where maybe part of his boot is metal. Like on Rogue, I think her entire hand is metal where it keys in. So it might be something like that. There's a lot of talk about this piece on the forums right now. Some people think that the pose changed a little bit, that he's more upright in the production piece photo than he was in the proto. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm not sure if it matters to me or not, to be honest.
Looks great either way.
Yeah. I mean, I saw this in San Diego last year. I really, really loved it. I heard no complaints. The base is extremely simple, no doubt about it. But it certainly puts the emphasis on the character.
Yes, it does. And be on the lookout for Jeff's review at Secret Sanctuary. So,
you bet.
But I mean, if it takes up less depth or length, I don't see a problem with it, because it doesn't. I don't look at it and think, oh my God, that looks really different, like you do with some things.
No,
there's still a lot of motion.
Some of these pictures don't that's a pretty good one. Some of these pictures don't accurately reflect the color. This one's pretty good, and then the trio with Batman and Green Arrow is a good one. But some of the other ones are too light. They don't accurately represent it.
It's so hard to capture a statue's correct color sometimes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Until you have
some things just will not photograph well. I've tried to take pictures of. There are certain Hot Toys that I have that it doesn't matter what you do. You could swing up from the ceiling down and and it just does not. It doesn't catch in the photo.
Yep. Here's some photos. The Queen Studios Joker, looking really good here. You can see all the head sculpts that they're working on.
That The original Batman Begins came out 15 years ago this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
15
crazy.
years ago. Wow.
That's crazy. Great movie. This was also shown since our last show. This is the Samurai Penguin. Again, worldwide license for XM. And I know Dan's going to be getting this one.
Yeah, this is coming in.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
That is so cool. And you know what? I was so wrong about it last time. It definitely wasn't Talon. It definitely was. You were right, Chris. It definitely was Penguin. But
Definitely Penguin.
Just the idea, just the idea of a possible Talon would have been cool. But I got to tell you, that is a great penguin looking statue.
It really is.
And it's going to be really wide.
Is that a heavy penguin joke? Is that what that means?
Is that a throne or he's?
They call it a sedan chair.
Sedan, yeah. It's like where the people will carry you in this.
Okay.
That's the wood beam.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I thought that was really a clever
parasol kind of umbrella thing going on. That's cool.
One umbrella here and one up top.
Yep. It'll probably be, seeing as it's a sedan, it'll probably be as deep as wide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good picture right there.
Yeah.
Kind of gives you an idea of the side profile. These are just renders, but
you're going to need bigger shells.
Yeah.
And Rick, that with comment, Rick, you couldn't be more right. And they're pretty much all like that.
Okay.
You know, again, with all the little things sticking off of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that penguin's cool. That one.
Look at all the little fish with dynamite in their mouth.
Yeah.
So anyway,
awesome.
Very cool piece. I know a lot of collectors are very excited.
Yeah.
This is another piece from Iron Studios, 1/10 scale, but I think he looks phenomenal.
Awesome.
Really good piece.
Yeah.
Again, this isn't my cup of tea scale wise, but again, for collectors that don't have a lot of space, now these are a little bit pricier, like we're saying, like $150 price point. But it's incredible. I love this thing.
But I mean, by the time you add all of them into that diorama with the Sentinels, it's going to be
massive. It's just
incredible. I mean, you're going to get so many characters that nobody else has done.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea on Iron Studios' part. I tip my hat to them because it's pretty ballsy to do something like that. But offer so many different characters and what a variety.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Techno15 in the chat wants to know what our favorite Joker statue is of all time.
Oh boy. Favorite Joker statue of all time.
I don't have one because Deathstroke is the only villain I have in my collection.
Well, it doesn't have to be in your collection.
Huh? I know.
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you lead the pack?
Yeah, I'm just looking around. I don't know which one I would pick between the OG Sideshow and the Arkham Knight Joker from.
And it could be one you have on pre-order as well.
I really like the Iron Studios. I really like the Bermejo. Oh my God, this is like picking my favorite kid.
Yeah.
And you only have
15 knows how to ask a good question.
I know. I mean, if it's the one that I have right now, I don't know. I still think I don't know. I can't pick.
Okay, for me, it's a tie. It's a tie between the Iron Studios 1/3 that I have on pre-order.
Yep.
And the Tweeterhead.
Another great piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know.
I would. Push comes to shove, I would go with the Bermejo, the Bermejo one, because of just the grittiness of it. It's so different than the purple suited OG, and it gives him I don't say urban, but it gives him this street level.
Very modern looking Joker.
Yes,
I would go with that one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I would.
Same for you. Is that same for you, Dan?
It's really hard.
In
hand, the one I just bought has blown me away. I love the Arkham Origins Joker. I think is phenomenal on a lot of different levels. I have both the Bermejo and the Iron Studios Joker on order. and I love them both for very different reasons. I mean, Rick hit on the reasons why I love the Bermeo Joker. I mean, from when I first read that Absolute Joker several years back now, that story, the grittiness of it, it kind of like, I think what Rick might have been trying to say is it brings him almost into the real world.
Yes.
Right. When you strip away all the, the comedic, campy aspects of Joker and you put, depict him like that. Mm-hmm. So, oh my God, that's really, really hard. It is hard. I think from a story, if I couple my favorite story to the favorite statue, I think it would end up being the Iron Studios piece, just because I have more of an affinity for that story, that section of Batman mythos. But
and I would have to say, like, the Bermejo Joker for me is my most anticipated piece.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that I like that one the best? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I love all my babies.
Yeah, my babies. Oh my God.
all my clown princes. I can't choose.
Precious.
I know. That's basically where I'm at. Yeah. Who asked that?
I have to. Techno 15 is his name.
Techno 15. Don't ever ask me that again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up all night trying to figure out which one I like the best. I don't know.
He just picked up the OG Sideshow Joker.
Hey, congratulations! That's like I got mentioned. Like, it's still that head sculpt. I mean, the rest of the figure itself, you can pick apart, and it's simple compared to some of the newer stuff. But that head sculpt, like, I mean, I just don't know if anybody's done a better head sculpt than that Joker. Like, it's perfect, perfect Joker. But again, I just love them all. Great question. Let's go back to the pictures real quick, so I don't bore everybody to death here. We got the Batman or the Robin and Super. Right, what is it called? Super Sons, right? Super Sons.
Super Sons. Yeah.
So Prime One
it's Damien and
thank you, Damien. Yeah. Just some production photos from Prime One there. I wanted to show you. This was another big reveal this week from Sideshow. This is Taskmaster premium format figure. What do you guys think of this piece?
I saw Jeff post that on his Facebook group, man, and I went nuts. There is absolutely, without question, no doubt, I am getting that one.
Very cool.
Yes, totally cool.
He is cool.
You know what? There's a thread on Statue Forum for most anticipated pieces from online Comic-Con. The thread started a couple of months ago, and I looked back at it today. And Taskmaster appears on many people's list before this was revealed. So, and also the reaction has been extremely positive because it's so much like the comics. They didn't sideshowify it.
No, they didn't. I agree with you. I from the video and stills I've seen from Black Widow, I do have to admit I do like that depiction. But this one, yes, this is like literally right out of the pages.
I've heard a lot of Skeletor comments.
Well, he's got a face switch out, actually.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sorry. Now that picture right there. Now this is gonna sound weird, but not if you don't zoom in. It actually looks like the hood piece is actually like his hair comes down and then it's like just all slicked back. It kind of looks like just a big. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, well, congratulations to everybody that's been wanting this piece. I'm really glad that, again, Sideshow's really coming out with some characters that they're not your typical characters, so that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yep.
Definitely awesome.
Yep.
The fandom we mentioned earlier, so we talked about that. These are some in-hand photos from XM Studios that I wanted to post, just so people could see them, see the quality that you're getting when you're getting them in hand. And Jeff just got Superman in this week.
She looks really good. I love that helmeted.
Yeah.
I think she turned out really nice.
Yeah, she looks great.
These are 1/5 scale, right?
6.
1/6
scale.
And I put him next to the Twitter head Batman, and they're perfect together. There's no size difference.
And they're replacing portraits on some of these. The paint went very wrong on some of these, and so they're switching out the portraits for customers for some of them.
That's cool. That's all I got.
There were some pictures floating around of the Aquaman
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to be getting him.
That seahorse is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that sold me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I hate to admit it, but the seahorse did it.
Saw it in
It's
New
really
York.
cool.
Saw it in New York, and it was crazy. The detail is awesome. It's a really cool piece.
I saw it in Denver, and it's a lot of color. A lot of color.
Yep.
Hey, Matt
That's pretty
says, can somebody link me to Jeff's Facebook group, please? Couldn't find it by typing Secret Sanctuary. So where can they find you, Jeff?
Oh, well, I'm shocked that they couldn't find it by typing in Secret Sanctuary.
I'll tell you why. Facebook's been really weird lately with like you type it in, but it lists other groups and other things above it. So what you might do, Matt, is whenever you type it in, whatever comes up, go to the group tab, and it should be the very first one.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, I've been noticing that last few weeks.
Yep.
Great suggestion.
So go to the groups tab. It's going to list not only Secret Sanctuary, but it's also going to list groups that are like ours. So you're going to be able to find other groups as well. So just a little tip. He says 100 unrelated things came up. Well, of course. That's awesome. So a lot of good stuff coming out. I think all of us are really anticipating, what's to come. I mean, obviously there's so much that we still have on pre-order that hasn't come out yet. But we're always thirsty for more, right?
That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
That's right. Well, we've rambled on for almost 2 hours. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out?
I know me personally, and I've said this before, but Chris, I appreciate you creating this group, this forum for us to talk. For these online comments and the fans and members of the group, make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Make sure you're taking care of your family. Make sure you're doing what you feel you need to do to take care of yourself. There's a lot of craziness going on right now with this pandemic and a lot of other crazy things wherever you are in your part of the world. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself and your family first. Everything else will come after.
Absolutely. And continue to love yourself and your neighbor. Absolutely.
There you go.
We need more love in this world. That's what we need more love and kindness.
Above everything, just be safe.
And understanding. We need more understanding for sure.
Totally.
Absolutely.
But again, anybody else want to say anything before we head out?
I think that covers it for tonight.
Yeah.
Again, I thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the comments tonight, but I really appreciate Zach for coming on. That was really awesome to be able to talk to him. To talk to you guys about your wish list, because it's always fun to hear what other people are looking forward to. I have my certain narrow-minded Batman-related things, so it's premium format Batman villain. So I'm really happy to hear what you guys want to see as well, and hopefully those things will come true. We'll play it by ear. But anyway, thanks everybody in the chat for being here. I really appreciate it. And we'll be back in a couple weeks for Rogues Gallery Live, and we'll have more to talk about, I'm sure. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time in the Batcave. Good night, everybody.
See you, everybody.
You guys.
Good night.
Night.